Good afternoon, everybody, here on Forest Avenue once again to basically highlight the fact that Staten Island is getting something that they do not want, and the city once again is forcing it upon us. And we've been banging the drum for a number of years about these BESS units that are popping up next to people's homes, next to gas stations, next to people's businesses, and we just keep banging that drum as loudly as possible to say that we don't want these things near people's homes or businesses. We believe they're unsafe. There was just recently another fire in Warwick, New York, where one of these units went on fire. They've been across the country. They've been on fire. They've had to evacuate areas, shut down highways. And just a few days ago, they're putting one of these by a firehouse in Los Angeles, and I think it's the largest fire union in the city of Los Angeles, came out to oppose them, saying they're unsafe. So here you have a fire union claiming these storage systems are unsafe because they're getting put next to a firehouse where guys, live as they're responding to emergencies. And what we've said repeatedly to the city, because the city has allowed this to happen, is we don't want it. Find another place. But it seems like those cries have been falling on deaf ears to date. So we're going to take another arrow out of the quiver and approach it from a state level. And there are other parts of the country where there are minimum distances between a residence and one of these units, or a business in one of these units. So we believe, and we're very happy that Senator Jessica Scarcella-Spanton and Assemblyman Charles Fall are going to help lead the effort in Albany by sponsoring legislation to ensure that if these things are placed, they need to be within at least 1,000 feet of somebody's homes. That will solve a lot of our problems here on Staten Island. If you haven't seen it, go to Nelson Avenue. There's something there that's a disaster right next to a bunch of people's homes, 28-foot high concrete wall, and on the other side is a gas station. It's insanity. With that, I'd like to call up again the one who's going to help lead the effort in Albany, Senator Jessica Scarcella-Spanton.
Thank you. Good afternoon. First, I want to thank our Borough President and our civic leaders for bringing us together and for everyone's leadership on this issue. Across New York City, these BESS facilities are popping up at an alarming rate. And while these facilities are often framed as part of our clean energy future, the reality is that they are poorly sited and inadequately monitored. They can put our neighborhoods in serious danger. It's not a question of if one of these facilities catches fire, it's when. And the borough president noted this has just happened up in Warwick, New York. We were speaking on Christmas Eve about it because it's so concerning. And when that happens, the distance between the facility and nearby homes can mean the difference between a contained incident and a community-wide emergency. In my district and across Staten Island and Brooklyn, the safety of my constituents always takes precedence. Their homes, their families, and their property should never be treated as an afterthought or as collateral damage in a rush to build these sites. That's why I know we needed stronger oversight on the state level. On Staten Island, we have dense residential neighborhoods where many homes are located side by side. It's part of why we love living in this borough like this, being close to our neighbors and having a real sense of community. But with that also demands a higher standard of safety and accountability. That's why I'm working with my state legislative colleagues, including Assemblyman Charles Fall, who's here with us today. We both sponsored a bill that Senator Adabo and Assemblywoman Jamie Williams have introduced, which establishes a clear and necessary safeguard by prohibiting certain large-scale battery energy storage facilities from being built or operated within 1,000 feet of populated areas in a city of 1 million or more residents. And again, these things are going through negotiations. We want to see it get done. So, please keep an ear out for us. The Assemblyman and I will definitely be providing those updates as well. And I also have a bill that focuses on transparency, because our communities deserve to know when a battery energy storage facility is being planned in their neighborhood before the construction even begins, not after the decisions have been made. My legislation requires public notice through community board mandates, annual safety inspections of these facilities, and ensures ongoing compliance with local oversight. This legislation would require public hearings to be held before any permits are approved, so the community has a chance to put real meaningful input. The bottom line is these facilities cannot come at the expense of public safety, and this is a public safety issue. We see how quickly they can go up in flames, and we want to make sure that they are not by your homes, by your businesses, and collectively we're all working together with our community partners to make sure that we pass this legislation, and we will do everything we can to continue to update you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Senator. Thank you for your advocacy and your attention to this very important, as you mentioned, public safety, quality of life matter, and we wish you the best. And as mentioned, we talked around Christmas Eve, and without hesitation, both she and the next speaker said absolutely they want to do whatever they can to stop these things from happening, and that's Assemblyman Charles Fall.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Borough President. Good afternoon, everyone. And I just want to thank my colleagues in government, the Borough President, who has been keeping me well informed of all the incidents that have been happening across the country and even in the state when it comes to these issues, and my colleague in the state level, Jessica Scarcella-Spanton, who's fighting so hard for the North Shore. And when you think about, even the fire department doesn't agree with this already, That was perfect. If you think about the individuals that are responsible for signing off on a project like this, or the people that are developing this, you gotta ask yourself the question, would they ever want to see something like this next to their homes? The answer is no, right? So now the question comes to, why are we seeing this next to residents in this neighborhood or in other parts of Staten Island? It doesn't make sense. That's not proper city planning, right? And so what we're doing here today is to send a message in a united front that the city needs to be better with its planning, right? These battery storage facilities should not be next to homes. They shouldn't be next to schools. They shouldn't be next to areas that put the public at risk. How many people walk down and back on this street? Hundreds a day. Hundreds, all right? And so I'm very thankful that our Borough President brought us here together. I look forward to working with my colleagues at the state level to ensure we deliver on this, because it's about today FDNY is in sync with us as always. It's about public safety and ensuring our neighbors are safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I know if either one of you have to go, I know you had a hard stop, so feel free. But thank you very much, Assemblyman, for your efforts in leading the charge in the Assembly as well. We're very lucky in Staten Island to have a number of civic associations, people who have committed to improve the quality of life and have been outspoken among other issues. This is one of the most important ones that they've been speaking out on. And a guy who's helped lead the charge in the Port Richmond, Mariners Harbor area, Mario Bonfiaggio. Mario?
Good afternoon. My name is Mario Bonfiaggio. I'm the Vice Chair of Civic Organization, Port Richmond North Shore Alliance. So we're back here again in May of 2025. We spoke about this, and we had some serious concerns as to why all of these battery stations are coming. We didn't stop from there. We looked into it. We made inquiries. We reached out to state electeds, including the Attorney General, including New York City Council. Well over 24 emails with letters attached. Just to clarify, all have not been answered. Not one email has been responded to. And this is including Attorney General Letitia James, Jumaane Williams. The only two that has been on point with correspondence and responsive and reaching out and giving us updates is the Senator Jess's office and Vito Fossella's office. Moving forward, this legislature, not too optimistic given the climate of the state, along with other state issues like, currently the BESS stations, New York State Liquor Authority to try to shut down these unhealthy establishments, New York State OCM, the cannabis management, congestion pricing, the wonderful New York State bail reform, they raised the age, and a couple of other things where the community says no. They ignored your expressions and your opinions, and they moved forward with it. We believe that's a breakdown of trust among the community with elected officials. Looking further deep into it, we've reached out again to Letitia James and wondering why there was such a silence or lack of response with the battery energy stations. So we looked further into it. Is there something that we're not seeing? Sunday morning, New York One, unsure if they are here, they interviewed a New York State Senator from the 23rd District, Representative Kevin Parker, spoke very eloquently about the clean energy. He sits on a committee, as though he sat through a tutorial, really jumped out of the screen. Made me dig even deeper on why the silence. Island States, Attorney General Jumaane Williams, a new mayor-elect, or the new mayor. So we looked into it. So there are components that operate these battery stations. 3 of the components on here are publicly traded. One really jumped out, and it's the reason why we're asking for an independent inquiry on all the state elected officials, past and present, from 2024 up to current, who sit on the Energy Committee, to see if there is a conflict of interest or is an issue with stock manipulation or insider trading or any type of quid pro quo or pay to play. It's fair to say, because it's one stock, and you can look it up, the ticker symbol is B as in boy, E as in Eddie, Bloom Energy. In January 2025, it was under $20, a $10,000 investment in average. Yesterday at the close, it closed at $152.31. 520% raise in your investment, close to $100,000 if you have $10,000 to invest. In 2026, it went up 50%. This is only one of the stocks, did not have time to go through all of them. We wonder why the silence from the state electeds, and it's a broad stroke, even from other boroughs. Hochul's office kicked the can and said it's not in our jurisdiction. We tried to reach out, and our point of investigation includes Senator Parker and includes the former Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani. Why? Because when he was a candidate for New York City mayor, our Attorney General was standing behind him, giggling, all smiles, following him wherever he went, refused to answer our emails, busy in some subway tunnel swearing him in. So we're conflicted as to why you're not answering a specific concern within the community, and it's not just the North Shore, it's all over Staten Island, and everyone should know there's 15 more coming on Staten Island. There's no variance, there's no community input, community board does not have to vote on it, it's coming, and we don't know where. And this is why we ask for the Attorney General to conduct, we're not saying that there's wrongdoing, it's time for checks and balances in state government. There are some elected officials that have been there for several years, and there's been elected officials up in Albany that's been up there way too long. And you know what happens, history has it. When you sit up there, you get comfortable, you get a little arrogant, you get a little too overly confident that no one will question me. Well, in some cases that we've seen, that wasn't the case. So if there's nothing to report, great. If there's something we need to know. We need transparency from the people that they were elected. This is including Attorney General Letitia James and Jumaane Williams. This is the scope of their duties and responsibilities. They monitor city government. They monitor state government. We had a former New York State Attorney General. He dubbed himself the Sheriff of Wall Street, and he caught people with their hands in a cookie jar. So this is not a far reach. This is a simple request. I think this is a serious request. I think I surfaced on something that I hope I'm wrong, but when stuff like this jumps at you, it faces some serious concern. I'd like to thank again Borough President Vito Fossella, Senator Jessica Scarcella, Assemblyman Charles Fall for attending. Again, we're kind of hopeful that something will come to state lecture. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So in conclusion, this is just one more attempt to stop what we don't want here on Staten Island. We think it's unsafe. The record is proven across the country, in our own state. And I'm just going to publicly thank the Senator and the Assemblyman once again for, without hesitation, wanting to lead the charge in Albany. Any questions? We're good?
Questions?
Thank you.
There you go.